guys, I am Preeti and today I am going to talk about a very controversial topic about non-vegetarian food. And I know that a lot of people who have accepted veganism, for them to listen to this video might be totally no. I still suggest you that if you have begun watching this video, try to watch this video till the end and see what has been said here. Usually people who are vegan, they have this tendency that no matter whatever is being said in that video, contrasting to that, they will still give their opinion that don't be cruel towards animals. I know that is actually a good thing if you're choosing not to be cruel towards animals, but here I am going to share with you something about vegetarianism and spirituality and whether you should be vegetarian or not. So the topic of today is non-vegetarian food and spirituality. So I'll try to give the best that I can in this video. So then I leave it to you what do you feel, whether it's right or not. Let me know in the comments. Okay, stay tuned.
Make sure that you subscribe to my channel and click on the bell icon. When you click on the bell icon, select all notifications so that you get notified about all the videos that I upload.
So let's directly dive into this topic. So according to me, see, if health wise, whatever, if you are a vegetarian, if you are a vegan, and health wise you are like doing really good, then I would suggest that non-vegetarian food you should not look for. Okay, you should not opt for non-vegetarian food. But there are people sometimes who just go through some health issues, and for them nutritional requirements, they cannot get through the vegetarian sources of nutrition, and this is why they don't have any other option in getting into non-vegetarianism. And this is why I do support that if you have any health issues or if you have any deficiencies or nutritional issues, just choose non-vegetarian food also. Now you might say, okay, but how about spirituality and vegetarian food? So see, if somebody is not having a good healthy body, spirituality is going to be difficult for them. So even Lord Buddha has said that you don't have to, he did say that you don't have to remain hungry. You have to have good amount of food. You have to stay healthy so that you can sit for meditation in a very positive way. So you can readily then meditate if your stomach is not growling with hunger. Okay, he did say that. He did not say anything about non-vegetarianism, but this is what I say. For some people, staying vegetarian is very easy, and for some people, staying vegetarian, it's like the most difficult thing for their health. In that case, try to have anything in non-vegetarian which suits you, so that you can bring yourself back to balance, so that you can have a normal life and walk healthily on the path of your soul path. Okay, even Swami Vivekananda, he has mentioned this in his book, I think the complete works of Swami Vivekananda. This is available as different versions. Sometimes it's available as an 8-volume set, sometimes it's available as 10-volume set. So in the complete works of Swami Vivekananda, he has also mentioned that if while eating non-vegetarian food, if you are a non-vegetarian eater and you don't have any bad intentions towards anybody, then you can continue to have non-vegetarian food. There is nothing wrong with that. And he said there are people who are following total sattvic sort of lifestyle, but in their mind they have the most cruelest thoughts towards others, towards people, towards animals. So in that case, you have to rethink whether what kind of sattvic food is good, but sattvic mentality is equally important. This is where Swami Vivekananda mentions very clearly that a person who is vegetarian, who continuously has violent thoughts in their mind about other people, maybe about insulting others, they get angry very easily, they have viciousness towards others. This kind of person, it's even though they have the most purest form of sattvic food, these kind of people are not going to be considered as with a sattvic mentality. And on the other hand, there are people who might be having non-vegetarian food. Vivekanand especially mentions people who are butchering animals. He says if a person is butchering an animal and still there is no negativity inside him, he is not feeling angry, he is not feeling that viciousness or the that cruelty towards animals, he is not feeling that, then also that person is considered that he has a sattvic mentality. So yeah, also I would like to say, if you are watching this video, if you are vegan and if you feel like putting a very negative or a critical comment in this video, I would suggest just first go and try to understand that what Swami Vivekananda has written. Because if something is mentioned by these people, these are the people who are like very evolved spiritually. So if you can read what they try to say, then do try to understand that. The second thing I would like to say is about the Bhrigu Samhita. Bhrigu Samhita is a book, it's a very common book, and Bhrigu Samhita is believed that it was like written like thousands of years back, and even this book also mentions that non-vegetarian food, it is specially mentioned that if women have non-vegetarian food, usually there is no kind of cruelty that applies to them. Now a lot of women who are watching this video, a lot of men might feel very partial here, that I'm saying on the side of women. Maybe you might feel just because I'm a woman I'm saying this, but the thing is that why women are believed to be very pure, it's because the women go through the monthly cycle which just cleanses them in and out, which is why whatever even karma you create, like even when you eat non-vegetarian food, it is considered that women don't collect any negative karma out of killing of that animal. And then the third part comes in when it's about the Srimad Bhagavad Puran. In that Puran, it is clearly mentioned that whenever the question is of your life, if you are like deserted in some place where you cannot find food, you cannot find water, even in that kind of place, it is very difficult to survive. So to make sure that you save your life, it is advised in that book that you can actually kill animal and save your life. You can eat it so that you can save your life. So that is mentioned that in order to save your life, so that you can fulfill your purpose, you can actually kill an animal and eat. And now you may say, okay, now all of this is so contrasting information, how does this go with the cruelty and the karmic thing that we talk about, killing of animals? First of all, as I mentioned, if it is possible for you to stay vegetarian, that is the best thing that you can do. But if you cannot stay healthy when you are vegetarian, then it is better that you have whatever you can to make yourself into a good healthy state. Okay, and all of this is why it is so important, like why animal life is here, it is considered secondary. Why even the spiritual scriptures, they are also saying that sometimes killing an animal and eating, it's not a sin. Why is it that it is said like that? The thing is that human life, animal life is not considered that evolved. Humans are considered to be the most evolved, and the purpose of humans is considered as the highest from the purpose of what the plants and animals have on our planet. Which is why the purpose of animal and purpose of plants, if you don't know what those purposes are, do try to watch the video on the purpose of human life. In that I have talked in detail about the purpose of animals and plants also. So the human life has the highest purpose, and the intelligence of a human, it can actually transform the life of this entire planet, which is why the human is considered to be the most important species on our planet, which is why the humans are given the most intelligent of brains on this planet. So in order that you fulfill your purpose, it is important that you first survive, that you first stay healthy and be in the best of the state of your mind, body and soul, such that you can function healthily. So in order that you can do that, it is like, yeah, it is permitted that you have food that is, yeah, that is enriching for your body. Also, one more thing, in Tibet, in Tibet, the monks are believed that the Tibetan monks, they believe that having eggs is very good for your brain. Okay, so a lot of times people feel that the people who are into spirituality, they don't have non-vegetarian food, but here you can see the Tibetan monks, they also have eggs. Okay, so that is the only thing. See, why I'm not mentioning it from a point of view that you need to feast on non-vegetarian foods. Why I am mentioning here is, somehow if your brain is well developed, your brain is working and functioning well, you will be able to give your best in this world. So yeah, if you cannot accept any other stuff, like, yeah, just have eggs are also good. Even Swami Sri Paramhansa Yoganand, he has also mentioned in his book Autobiography of a Yogi, at one point, while he was, during his life, one of his niece, she was, the doctor had asked that she needs to have eggs because her health was not good, and Paramhansa Yoganand, he actually was totally opposing of having any animal products, and he did not want her to eat eggs. But the doctor told him that if the eggs are non-fertilized, then there is nothing bad in having them. Okay, so even he gave permission to his niece to come back to good health, and he advised her to have eggs also. Okay, so so this is the video about non-vegetarian food and spirituality. So I hope that you like it. I don't know whether you will like it or not, but just in case, if you have any critical thing going in your mind, if you feel like, if you are like frustrated, if you are angry towards whatever I am saying, just try to go and read those stuff. Just try to go and read complete works of Swami Vivekananda, Brigi Samhita, Bhagavad Puran, and any book about Tibetan food or something. From there you will be able to understand why these things are mentioned. And I think I had read one book on the it was something based on the Tibetan rites. The Tibetan rites that are, they are considered that they are very good for your health. So there is one book, I don't remember the name of that book. In that book, it is very clearly mentioned about the Tibetan rites. In that book, they have mentioned having eggs in order to make your brain strong. Okay, so this is it for this video, and I hope that you like it. If you have liked this video, hit the like button. If you feel that this video can help somebody, do share this video with that person. I will see you again in my next video. Until then, keep following the path of your soul's purpose, because you are born for a reason. Thank you so much for watching. Bye bye.